Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Yesterday, Monday, December 21st, 2020, the date of Monday Night Football, just before the game, it was reported that former Pittsburgh Steeler Kevin Greene was dead at age 58. And of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers were playing on Monday Night Football. And again, just last week, we were talking about the dead Baltimore Ravens player in the headlines at the time of the Ravens playing on Monday Night Football in primetime. And all throughout this season, and all throughout every season that I've been here, which is 7 years straight, we've been talking about these same repetitive patterns. Players dying the day of games that their teams that they once played for are in the prime time. It's just so obvious. And then week after week, when you know Gematria, you see the number ritual. Notice how Kevin Greene, NFL Hall of Famer, whose family says there is no cause of death right now. It's a mystery, like it always is. Almost. He died at 58. Not all that old of an age, 58. And in Gematria, that's a very special number. It connects to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, 58. Again, he played for the Steelers, and they were in prime time the day of this game. And not to mention, Rambo, for months, has been talking about how significant the date is of this game and the symbolism of the Steelers and the Bengals, and why the Bengals were hosting on December 21st, the date of the Great Conjunction, this once-in-a-800-year type of event. We weren't able to see it here because we got unlikely weather. Clouds blew in and nasty rain, and then this morning it's all gone and beautifully clear. It's like, wow, just got all nasty last night in time for the Great Conjunction. It's just gone. It's like, ugh. Anyway, I wanted to see it with my own eyes, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. But like Rambo's been explaining, the reason Cincinnati's hosting is because it's the Bengals, a striped tiger, and it's been a year of tiger symbolism, and Jupiter is represented with stripes. It's the striped planet. And of course, the other thing about Cincinnati is it's the big Jesuit town, and it's the Jesuits who control the NFL and the government and the news and do everything ritualistically by a code, as we expose every single day. And with regards to Cincinnati, I just want you to see that from Kevin Greene's birthday, July 31st, to his death, December 21st, was 144 days. And Jesuit orders 144. And the Steelers are the only team in the NFL where it's public knowledge that the Rooney family who owns them are Jesuits. The word Jesuit alone is 84, and Cincinnati's on the 84th Meridian West, and this comes just days after the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, turned 84 years old. But massive Jesuit ritual here. On the 144th day of his age, the day of this very symbolic game, he's dead. And by the way, the Steelers fell to 11-3. We saw that was a definite possibility, especially on the eve of the NBA opening up. And last week, the Bills became 10-3 against the Steelers. Gematria is very simple. It's based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. By knowing this code, you'll see so much before it happens. Bills become 10-3 against Steelers. Steelers fall to 11-3. And we also saw that the Steelers had a very good chance to lose to the Redskins and Ron Rivera, who's having the feel-good story this year with their no longer non-racist team name, Redskins to football team. And Ron Rivera was the last coach to start 11-0, just like Mike Tomlin, who had it ended there by Ron Rivera. And before that loss even happened, we said that it's possible that the Steelers lose this game to the Skins, next week to Buffalo, and end up becoming 11-3 on primetime in the big game that Rambo's been talking about all year. So this was things we saw before the Steelers even lost a game, how this could possibly line up. Plus, when you lose 3 in a row, when you write out 3 as a word, it equals 56, which is the number of the year. Kevin Greene's 56. And remember, 3 is a special number. The Trinity. Remember, this entire code is the Jesuits, who are religious, who operate on behalf of the Catholic Church. That's why there's so many Catholics and Jesuits in the world of pro sports. Start to look where a lot of these players went to high school and whatnot. And also, on Patreon, I'm going to be talking about that new Joe Montana commercial that zooms up real close on the Guinness bottle so you can see what year they were established, 1759. Those were the numbers of this NFL week, 59 and 17. Chargers became 5-9 on the 17th, 59, the 17th prime. Pope Francis equals 59, the first Jesuit pope. It was on his birthday. The Chargers got to 5-9. 17's the 7th prime. The Raiders fell to 7-7. 59 rituals all over the league this week. San Francisco and the Cowboys both became 5-9. And that's funny because San Francisco is named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like Pope Francis. So it made so much sense for both of those teams to be 5-9 in this week that was all about that number. And, it's just sick, you guys. And it really is exposing the same things week after week, showing people how the games are rigged. Again, the Steelers went down with 17 last night, number of the week. And just because the Jesuits run the whole show doesn't mean they always let their team win. Again, the first March Madness ever was 85. Basketball equals 85, the big way. The small way, Isus Hominum Salvator equals 85, which is the Jesuit motto. The first March Madness was an 85. And remember, Georgetown, the Jesuit school, lost to the Catholic school Villanova. So it was a big Catholic Jesuit tribute. And the year before, in 84, Jesuit 84, John Thompson had become the first black coach to win the college basketball championship, doing it with Jesuit Georgetown. Jesuit equals 84 forward, 78 in reverse. This year, John Thompson died at age 78 on a Sunday, a date with 78 numerology, which we called Super 78 Sunday before it even happened and before John Thompson died, because there were so many 78 rituals rigged into the world of sports that day. Because it's always this way when you know the code. But if you are new here, again, Gematria, there are 4 base ciphers, forwards and backwards. And I just want you to notice how in these 4 ciphers, Jesuit and Sunday, these are all these big numbers on a Sunday. This year, the Colts became 8-4 on a Sunday, the team that moved to Indianapolis in 84. So there's so many examples like this. But anyway, the base ciphers are the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order in reverse, and then the alphabetic order with the rules numerology and the reverse alphabetic order with the rules numerology. You'll notice Sunday and Jesuit, for example, are the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers, and that is not an accident, Very special code here. You learn it, you really see through what's going on, just how rigged the system is, from federal politics to rigged sports. And, you want to practice, type in judge and gavel. Notice how they're the exact same in all 4 ciphers. And while you're at it, type in the name Trump, which has 3 of the same 4 values. Whoops, hit the wrong thing there. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I see. I got to move I'm covering up one of the ciphers, aren't I? So anyway, if you want to look into Donald Trump's first Supreme Court Justice, Neil McGill Gorsuch, who was put in April 7th, 47, like Judge Gavel and Trump are 47, government's also 47, so is Republican, so is Democrat, so is White House, so is President, so are the letters DC. Very special number 47. Lots to say about it. Read my books. But the first Supreme Court Justice put in on 4-7, which is the 97th day of the year, and the word supreme equals 97. Ginsburg's also 97. This year, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died on the 97th day of Trump's age. But you see how Trump, Gavel, and Judge are also 88? Look at Neil McGill Gorsuch. Neil McGill Gorsuch, who went in on 4-7. His full name is 88. You see the 187? Here's who's behind all this. Holy Roman Empire. 187, 88. George Washington fits in, and a million other things. All of these numbers are used so ritualistically with Trump that you see on the screen right now. Every last one of them. And again, we've covered these things thousands of times. So if you're new here, very important knowledge to learn. And if you're curious about how sports are rigged and scripted by this code, to try and encourage people to participate and put $1 a month towards this movement so that we can grow it and help end this tyranny. Today I'll show how I expect the NBA Finals to be rigged for this season that begins today. Today's the start of the 75th NBA season. Kobe equals 75. Today's 331 days after Kobe's death, the 67th prime. Calabasas is 67, King 67, West 67, Blood Sacrifice 67, Human Sacrifice 67. Kobe died on a 67 date numerology, January 26, 2020, the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. And again, if you're new here, notice how notice how Bryant is 26 in what's considered the most pure cipher, 37 in reverse. Kobe Bryant dead on the 26th on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant, who died in 83, who's considered the greatest football coach in college ever, football 83. Again, this stuff has been going on a long time, you guys. What happened to Kevin Greene? He just joined a really big club. But for 7 years straight, I really have been here every single day of the week, predicting things before they happen, showing the same patterns, the same code, the same system. I've never switched anything up. I've just been showing you the exact same thing for over 7 years straight, every single day. And you know, how many times have I concluded a video like this? This was uploaded last week, December 17th, after what happened on Monday Night Football. And the reason it took me extra time to get it up was because I was traveling and I went to visit my mom. But Monday Night Football the week before was the Baltimore Ravens, and in the news was the death of a former Raven, Lorenzo Taliaferro. And I made this short video on it. You can go back and watch it. Just click the videos tab. If you don't know how to find somebody's videos, you just click on their channel, and then you go to videos, and then you can see their videos. And then you just keep scrolling back, and videos. So, I know a lot of you don't know that because you're always asking, like, when did he make a video about that? And it's like, dude, it's like the last video I made. I mean, you don't have to... Wouldn't it be easy to go look? I mean, the story just broke 12 hours ago. How far back do you think you're going to have to look? I mean, come on, people. Let's use a little bit of thinking here.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker.
But hold on. I just want to go back to what I said at the end of this video about what... Just listen. Listen to what I said. And I've said this a million times. I've said this so many times. Here we go.
Week after week, season after season. I already talked about multiple stories like this just this year. And I will say, sometimes the players who are connected to the teams die right before the primetime game, but very often it's also right after. And you can see on the screen the last primetime game in the NFL, the Ravens over the Browns. We'll leave it there, Truth Seeker.
And of course, earlier in the video, I talked about how we were talking about a dead Baltimore Raven who also played for Coastal Carolina, who's having their greatest college season ever, and he's dead in the news at the time of the primetime game, just like Kevin Greene yesterday. And again, you guys, the patterns are so perfect. You know, we just talked about the death ritual in Cincinnati. For people in Cincinnati, remember the terrible Who concert tragedy? Go back and look what day that happened on. Happened on the anniversary of the death of Francis Xavier, what your Jesuit university is named after there in Cincinnati. Xavier, named after Francis Xavier, one of the founders of the Jesuits. The day he died was the day of the terrible Jesuit. Here, I'll just put it up. This is what they do, you guys. It's ritualistic. It's by the numbers. These people are dead on. It's like they're sorcerers. December 3rd, it was in December as well, 1979. 11 rock fans die in stampede. And just notice how in Gematria, the most simple cipher, the Who, Murder, and Xavier are all 79. But notice they're also the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. Society of Jesus, the official name of the Jesuits, 79. The true name of Jesus, Yeshua, 79. Anthony Fauci, the Jesuit who predicted the pandemic before it happened. It was declared March 11, 2020, his 79th day of being 79 years old, and he said it would all happen at Jesuit Georgetown on January 10th, 2017. He said there will be a pandemic under the time of Trump, and he knew that from his experience in D.C., and look how long Fauci's been there for. Since 84, you guys. Since 84, Anthony Fauci. 1984, that infamous year. So... if you want to join us over on Patreon, I'm about to start a live stream. We're going to talk about the 2021 NBA season. I'm going to put out what I think will be the NBA Finals this year and show you how it's all synced up with Kobe. 75th NBA season, Kobe 75. They agreed to a 72-game NBA season, and it begins 72 days after the last season began. Again, this is why you got to know your ciphers backwards and forwards. The Jesuit order was established August 15th, 1534, a date with 72 numerology. They love this number, 72. They did a million things with 72 in the election. Notice President Biden's got the 144 and 72 like Jesuit order. President Trump's got the 72 as well. They've done a million things with Trump and 72 over the years. These are big numbers with these organizations. The Jesuits run it all. Today's 72 days after the last season ended on October 11th on Father-Daughter Day. The Lakers win it in the year Kobe and his daughter die. I mean, it was, oh my God, you guys, it was 41 weeks after LeBron's birthday, too. King 41, LA 41. We always talk about LeBron James in 114. He won the finals 114 days after the real King James's birthday on June 19th. 619's the 114th prime. These people were born and bred to be. If you watched ESPN today, you heard that they said that LeBron James, the reason his body is so good and still so youthful is he's on cutting-edge $2 million a year supplement plan. Think about that. $2 million a year in supplements. Wow. I believe it, man. I mean, he looks great, and it seemed like his hair even came back, so. But yeah, man, these people in these leagues, they're not like you and I, so. But there it is, from his death to the start of the season, 331 days, the 67th prime. Go back and watch my video on January 26th, the day of his death, and how much we talked about 67 and King James and LeBron and Calabasas. And then we had the death of the Presley daughter that was related, also in Calabasas. Anyway, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Going to hop over on Patreon. I'm going to do this presentation today on sports about this NBA season and Kobe in the finals for people on the $1 tier. Again, the goal is truly to get 30,000 people to pledge $1 a month. I said when we do that, we'll hire a 5-man team, get a building, and start, traveling city to city where we need to be to get the word out, where the biggest event just happened. You know what I mean? That's the goal. So I don't know why there's not 30,000 people in this world that can't pledge $1 a month. It's like 300 billion. Well, I guess there's not that many people. There's probably 3 billion people that just pay way too much a month for just bullshit cable just to watch advertisements, but they can't find $1 extra to support the truth. It's the kind of world we live in, man. Again, you guys, pay attention. Nobody puts out work this important anywhere. And if you're brand new here, you're going to figure that out real fast. Real fast. It's been the case for 7 years straight. I mean, All right, Truth Seeker. Patreon links in the description. It's also on my website, GematriaEffect.News, where all these posts are at. GematriaEffect.News.